Christ Triumphant, September 14th, Daily Devotional by Ellen G. White. Covetousness and greed will lead to ruin if indulged. Verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. John chapter 13, verse 21. The disciples had searched one another's faces closely as they asked, Lord, is it I? Until now Judas had sat silent, as if unconcerned. Now his silence drew all eyes to him. To escape the scrutiny of the disciples, he nerved himself to ask, as they had done, Master, is it I? And Jesus solemnly replied, Thou hast said. Matthew chapter 26, verses 21 through 25. Even now Judas could have acknowledged his guilt, even now broken the spell upon him. Christ was close beside him, ready to aid him, but his pride and the temptation of the enemy were so strong he had no power to escape from the snare. Instead of casting himself upon the mercy of a compassionate Savior, he braced himself in resistance. The history of Judas presents the sad ending of a life that might have been honored of God. Judas had himself solicited a place in the inner circle of disciples. With great earnestness and apparent sincerity he declared, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. The disciples were anxious that Judas should become one of their number. He was a man of commanding appearance, a man of keen discernment and executive ability, and they commended him to Jesus as one who would greatly assist him in his work. The face of Judas was not repulsive. It was keen and intelligent, but it lacked the tenderness and compassion that is seen in a truly converted person. In ministering to others, Judas might have developed an unselfish spirit, but though listening daily to the lessons of Christ and witnessing his unselfish life, Judas indulged his covetous disposition. Christ read his heart, and in his teaching he dwelt upon the principles of benevolence that strike at the very root of covetousness. He presented before Judas the heinous character of greed, and many a time the disciples realized that his character had been portrayed and his sin pointed out. But he did not confess and forsake his unrighteousness. He was self-sufficient, and instead of resisting temptation, he continued to follow his fraudulent practices. Though Jesus knew Judas from the beginning, he washed his feet, and the betrayer was privileged to unite with Christ in partaking of the sacrament. To him had been offered the bread of life and the water of salvation. To him the Savior's lesson had been given, but Judas refused to be benefited.